are live. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Cohen, hot topic, hot potato.
Hey everybody, welcome to this version of TGID's Hot Topic Hot Potato Roundtable discussion. Today on the call we have a handful of folks here from around the globe. From Montreal, Canada, we have Vlad Sportsman.
Yeah,
How you
what's up,
doing?
Vlad?
Happy Hanukkah nearly, sir.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you. And we got Anthony. How are you? I forget your last. Trevino.
Torino. Yeah,
Torino.
like the car.
Got it. Yeah, and then Anthony is a comic from all over the area, and he's based there right now. He's in Alabama, right?
That is correct.
You're still in Alabama. I can tell by the sheep behind you.
Exactly. I put it there to dry. It's drying.
I gotta write that one out. Okay, gotta ring it out. Okay, so and then Josh, you're over there in Ohio.
Yo,
Josh,
Ohio. Already out of snow for the year. It's pretty nice.
Nice. You already got your white Christmas.
Hey. Give you some of this.
All right. Looks like we got one more person admitting here. We got Layla coming in.
Yay.
Are you in there?
I got it.
Is she in?
No. Layla. Yeah, that should be it. She should be in.
So Layla's coming on. And Layla, are you there? Hey, Layla, how you doing?
We can't hear you.
All right, so.
Okay, I mean, we use.
All right, hey, Layla, we were just introducing everybody. You're right on time, nearly. And
Okay,
if you want to.
and I'm doing this, guys, because life is just crazy right now in the Salinas land.
All right, we just went live. We're live right now, okay?
Oh.
So, we're live on television, all right? We're doing it. So, that's Layla, and she's calling from Salinas, California. And she's from Brazil, right? Originally?
Nice to meet you, everyone. Yes, I am.
Nice to meet you, too.
Nice to meet you.
And then, Carla, are you jumping in?
She's in there. She's taking care of the baby right now.
I'm listening on the call, but I'm here and with the baby.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, hopefully we get a few more people. Peter Warren said he might show up soon, and we'll keep on trucking.
Good stuff.
Yes.
So today's December, 9th, 2020. A lot's been going on in the world today and this week and the last couple of weeks. We haven't seen each other in a couple of weeks because of the holidays and whatnot. And COVID-19 is all over the news still right now. We had a lot more people. Over 2,000 people died each day since this virus for this month.
3,000 today.
2,900. Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Yeah. We beat 3,000 for the first time today.
That's wild.
And so, in a weird way, I was just thinking, even though it's not really the greatest thing, we should have a moment of silence.
More than we already have it being locked down, man. I need noise. No more silence.
All right. Well, we'll come to the silence at the end of the show. All right. So, but yeah, it's crazy what's happening. And then we are locked down in California right now, pretty much. So yeah, what's going on in your parts of the world, you guys? As far as this COVID-19, what do you got to say about that?
Well, Ohio is having an internal battle. The people in the Better Business and Bureau and more conservative, because Ohio is pretty conservative anyway. But the people in the more conservative parts of the councils are trying to buck the closing bars and restaurants order, and they're people are getting angry because they're losing money. But I'm telling you, people just be dying all the time. So I don't know. I feel like Ohio has done a good job. It's not as bad as some of the other places, but just because we got locked down, that's the only reason I think it's not as bad. What do you think, Vlad? Over to you. How's it in Montreal?
In Montreal, we're on lockdown pretty much. The stores are open, the gyms are closed. Everything they promised 10 people for Christmas, and then they rolled it back because the numbers were spiking pretty bad. It's been record breaking almost every day here with the numbers.
Right.
And there are very stupid people. I have a friend who works in a school. She's a caretaker in a school, and she probably got it. She's waiting for the symptoms to begin because somebody was walking around without a mask, or there's a new word, lazy masker. So
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
Their nose hanging out.
Or it's on their chin, yeah.
Yeah, so a lazy masker infected a whole bunch of people in the school, and it just spreads like that. It's just stupid people.
Right.
So that's what's going on here in Montreal. We just got our first snow too. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I dig it. It was fun. I made a little snowboard ramp.
Well, I guess
like
everybody's getting
the
it.
first day I've been outside to do something, and it feels like months. It's crazy.
Here in Alabama, we're supposed to wear a mask, and I think most of the people wear masks, but I go to the gym every day. I ride my bike through town. So I'm getting out when it's not cold. It just got cold here, but tomorrow it's 69, so I'm going to actually go hit the 9-hole golf course. People are resistant to the idea here, and they doubt it, but they seem to be kind of compliant with wearing the mask and that type of thing. I'm surprised that people are so compliant here, because when they're talking about it, they're extremely suspicious of the government and don't like anything about lockdowns, but they seem to be cooperating here.
I've noticed now,
and
which
people
I
are
wanted
resistant
to see a long
to the
time
idea
ago.
here, and
What was that? Is a lot more commercials on television. Oh, here's somebody else is coming in. Bonnie Cohen, who's that? A lot more commercials on television about how just to do it, and a lot more promotion of the right way to be. And that's something that should have happened early on with some good leadership, but we didn't have that, and now the tides are changing.
We have less.
And the what was that? What was that? Go ahead, say what you got to say. But the medical
saying that we did not have a leadership before. Well, I guarantee we have less now. But that's okay. I'm from Brazil, I come from a country that I would say, DJ, to interrupt you, because you know how I am, how I think. And in my 33 years, almost 34 in this nation, I never saw in my life that I would see happening here what I run away from Brazil when I was there. Okay. My land was taken from the government, and because they want to do something. It's just like, and see the ways that we are all being accepting certain things. 1,000 virus every day. I know this is a very sad thing. I have nothing against, but I think we are losing common sense fighting this thing, because I have doctors on both sides that think this way and those think the other way, and then there's all those healers that think the other way. But there is no common sense. We hear one thing one time, and then suddenly we see another thing one time. Then they ask you to do this, they ask you to do that. Thank God I don't want a business right now, because it is crazy what they are doing to business owners. I just had a friend that was preparing for this whole thing, rent a big tent, And they just got an email like we all got it, that they are going to lock down everything. So now it is serious. I mean, it gives me goosebumps on how politics is playing with people's life. People are dying because misinformation in the beginning, not from the president, but from the doctors that were leading the information, right? And then all these other things. So it is for me, to be honest, I know we have to be talking about COVID. I am tired of talking about COVID. People don't talk about children being abused. People don't talk about mental illness going on daily. People killing themselves, desperate because cannot provide to their family. People losing family business that were there for years that the grandparent gave to them. You know, alcohol problems. So when I see they closing business, they closing jobs, but they keep Costco, they keep Walmart, and they keep those places open, I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense to me, because if you're gonna lock down, man, you lock down. Okay.
Well, let's get back. I mean, let's get back to the common sense of what we got to do. I mean, the common sense is where we need to find. And I mean, and that's the key thing that you just said. But let's find it. I mean, where is the common sense? Anthony, you're a comic. Where's the common sense in your mind at it all?
Well, the common sense part of this is there is no such thing as common sense when you have a group of idiots and you have a group of people know what they're talking about. Fauci and these people, they're the experts. Those are the people you listen to. These other clowns that are doctors, that doesn't mean they know about viruses. They haven't treated these other viruses. So there are people that have trained their whole lives. Those are people we need to listen to. And the problem was the leadership at the top with Trump. We needed to everybody be on the same page doing the same thing, and we weren't. We're calling it a lockdown. No one's under a lockdown. People aren't locked in their houses. They can go outside their houses. They cannot wear masks. They can have groups of 6 people. That's not a lockdown. I can promise you, I spent time in the military. I spent time as a child. My entire childhood was in the military. I can promise you the military is locked down. I can promise you their people are abiding by the rules because they're punished. They are disciplined if they don't follow the rules. But in our society, there is no punishment for the people who are violating these rules. So these asshats with these guns at the Capitol wanted to say you're taking your freedom away. When a doctor puts a cast on my leg, that takes my freedom away. But that's what it has to be. Okay, that's some idiot who wants to rub ginseng on my damn broken leg isn't going to change my broken leg. So you go to an orthopedic surgeon. I've had my knee reconstructed. Then you get your knee reconstructed. You wear the brace. There are rules you go by. But right now, every idiot who thinks because they can pull the cotton ball out of the aspirin bottle, thinks they're a virologist. And they're not. Fauci and these guys have been on top of this since the beginning. It's changed a little bit throughout the process, but not much.
He changed his word many times.
No, they've been saying wearing masks almost from the beginning. They've been saying social distancing. If we did those 2 things, we could have stopped this, but we have half.
And we could have had the businesses open.
Yes, we would be past this already.
Businesses would have been open. We could have been able to, figure out a way to come to a happy compromise. And that's the problem. I think that we can't figure out a way to compromise. And so, the common sense is how do we continue on? And I mean, we have Vlad as an attorney. I mean, can you bring it together here with some kind of attorney thought?
May I just respond something that he just said? I just want to say something about what he just said. Because I am pro-gun. Okay, I'm at the Second Amendment. I believe in freedom, especially when I saw the government come with guns to my land. They said, "Where's your parents in the field?" Called them and came to me and said, "With the guns pointed, you got 2 weeks to pack and leave." I'm a pro-gun person. Okay. Now, when you said that all those guys in the wars with the gun going over there, you didn't mention all the people that were rioting, going crazy, breaking a lot of things, and the media was calling peaceful protesters. I'm sorry. So that's when I say that there is this little one side thing off the thing. I think everybody's guilty in a way of this now. To pinpoint that disease is that, that's the problem. Because Dr. Fauci, and I have friends in Brazil too, and we talk about Dr. Fauci said many things different. There are videos out there that you can see it. You try to Google these days, some of those videos you cannot find anymore. So the misinformation to keep eyes, and it got lost out of control. They lost out the politicians that knew they don't know what to do because they were not focused where they should be focused when this thing was happening. And they lost control. That's the reality that I see, because it is a dangerous thing. But when people rather lie than say, you know what, I was wrong and that's it, to me, that's when I get a little thing. But just so I just want to say that I don't think it's the guys with the guns that did this. Okay, so just my take here. I'm cooking dinner. That's what I have to be.
Okay,
Jedi, what's going on? I'm looking at Jedi. He's gesticulating.
Are you doing sign language?
Well, listen, I think okay. Anthony hit it on the spot. Like he hit the nail on the head. The penalties are not stiff enough for breaking. Let's forget all these guys today, all these virologists, all these doctors. Let's forget them, and let's go back 100 years and see what happened in 1918.
Exactly.
The Spanish flu, and what worked. What really worked, and we're seeing exactly the same thing that happened back then. What worked was social distancing and masks, and they had that language already made up back then. It's not new language. This is old language,
and that's common sense, right there.
This is if you're asking me, how do we build a bridge, a dialogue, a compromise between the two thoughts, and we can just say, look, we lost 60 million people 100 years ago. 60 million. This is not fake news. I mean, it's been around a long time, this number, so it's not fake news. Because they'll scream fake news and, oh, what's your source? Wikipedia. Well, Wikipedia is a liberal platform. It's biased. And then, well, what's a good platform? Well, Breitbart is a good platform. OAN is a good platform. So it's hard to but this, old news is pretty much grandfathered into it's true. So we lost 60 million people. Are we going to lose 60 million people this time around? Do we want to? I mean, you have to ask them this question. Do they honestly feel that 60 million people should die? And if they say yes, well, okay, you stay away from them. And if they say no, you'll say, well, okay, so how do we, what worked? What worked back then? What worked? Do like an Aesopian or like a Socratic method kind of approach. Ask questions, and that'll get them thinking more rather than preaching.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to point out, well, I'm sorry about my audio. I was trying to point out that both Anthony and Leila, or both of them said the words, it got out of control, it got out of hand. And so I just want to make sure that point gets out there that unfortunately, we can't roll back the clock. I don't think there's any reason to dive into the minutia of who was at fault, but it is clear that if the next time this happens, because this will happen again.
Breaking up.
This is okay. This is like the 10th time this has happened in our history, as far as polio, measles, mumps. It's been going on for the whole history of this country. And so now I'm just saying that, next time maybe we will listen, and both sides of the argument will jump on board with protecting everybody. And we won't have to go through this for 2 years. Maybe it'll just, it'll happen oh, a new virus is out. Everybody locked down so it doesn't spread. And then the future, we won't have this issue. We won't have these stay-at-home orders because we will agree as a society we need to take steps sooner. And I want to just commend both of them for saying, we got out of control on this one.
And what's amazing to me is the arrogance of Americans. Is there are other countries that are dealing with this much better, yet we ignore those like we live in a vacuum. And we do that on not just this, but on numerous issues, on policing everything. We ignore all the evidence outside of us as if we know the answer when it's clear we do not have the answer. We are one of the worst countries at handling this, yet we still don't listen to it. And there has to be The other thing it really gives me heartburn is the rejection by idiots of expertise. Is I ran and owned rehab clinics for 20 something years. When you came to my rehab clinic with an injury, I told you the rehab to do. If you didn't do that rehab, I threw your ass out. There wasn't a discussion about it. I didn't negotiate with you. I might have changed the way I presented it, but in the end, you're going to do exactly the exercise I tell you, exactly when I tell them to you, exactly how I tell them to you, because I'm the expert. So I'll explain it to you. I'll get, pictures of the knee or the shoulder or the back or whatever we're dealing with and explain it to you. But in the end, you're going to do what I tell you. And I was so strong on that because it was workers' comp. If you didn't, I would toss your ass out and stop your workers' compensation because you're being paid to do it. And that's the problem is we have a segment, I think it's maybe 20% of our society that are just idiots. And they think they know and they believe what they believe is stronger than facts. You cannot talk to these idiots. I'm surrounded by these idiots right now. You can't talk to them and explain to them because nothing matters to them other than I had a group, this is sitting out here with my aunt yesterday. If God wants me to die of COVID, I'll die of COVID. You idiots, as I told her, you're on blood pressure medicine and you're a diabetic and you check your blood sugar every day. Why do you take that medicine, you moron? If God wants you to die, let him kill you. Oh, she got so pissed off. Where's the line?
Yeah, you called her an idiot.
Yes, well, because she deserves it. At some point, you got to call idiots idiots. They need to go back under their hole.
Okay.
All right, that's all I had to say on that one. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. That's okay. Now, I was just thinking about, the reason that we have this show is because the information age is where we've been in for so long. And we have so much information at our fingertips. How do we become more accountable to the information that we have? And that's why I say that we need to be stepping into the accountability age. And little by little, we're figuring it out this way. And somebody mentioned Vlad. I think you mentioned social studies or something about that. Studying other countries and what they're doing, and that's my big thing. I think just we're only 200 and something years old. We're just
Jedi
a
mentioned
baby
that
country.
as well, that the other countries have done it much better because
Because they learn about how to do things from other countries. Your light went out.
Some
by
of
the
them
way.
have less people living there. They know who lives there.
That's
exactly. True. America is a very diversity country. It's a country that gives rights to people that do wrong. Okay, it's an amazing country. And I will say this: when I see people say spitting on plates of a country that feeds so many people in so many ways, makes me mad. I love America, despite all the stuff that happened. It's still the best country to be, and that's why people try to come here every day. Because if it wasn't, they wouldn't be trying to come. So it's like the other guy said, that people lost control. There's so many people doing that. But what I believe is sometimes too much information becomes a problem. Not saying that's good to have, but get so confused because everybody says things a little bit different. Some people interpret things different. So the assumptions just start coming and things get out of control. So to me, I would take a good example with all this going. It never makes sense to me walk with my mask in a sidewalk and there are people sitting eating without. So if I go to that place, I have to stand there with a mask, wait for the waiters to come, and the chair is right next there. I cannot be without, but as soon as I sit there, I can take a mask. So
yeah, I mean, when I go out now, I honestly, I feel uncomfortable.
I don't go anymore because it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Or it is or it's not. So one block, you have to close your business. The next block is open. So the virus stop in that cross street.
Yeah, I think we're all circling the same issue. We don't have no enforcement.
Different states are playing different things. Doctors with different visions are saying different things. And no one said, wait a minute. This is what it is. I heard Dr. Fauci, but I saw him also changing his things. I started talking to my doctor's friend, immunologist in Brazil. And they're all going, they say, Leila, the best thing right now, keep doing your exercise, keep eating health. Thank God you don't have any pre-existing condition. Just take care of your health as you always did. Many people never worried about their health, believing that the government and all over the world would be taking care of them. So they overeat. They don't.
That's a
Now,
whole nother issue. That's huge.
lots of problem. Now we come the vaccine coming that has not been proven. I'm afraid of the consequences that will do inside our body. Our body is an amazing machine.
Yeah.
But when you start putting things in there, it's going to create a reaction. It's normal. My immune system is going to react.
Hey Vlad,
Go crazy in there.
I had a question for Vlad. So
Hold
from
on a
a
second.
legal standpoint, how far can the government, let's start with Canada. Legally, how far can the government go in the enforcement of this whole thing? Can they legally make Canadian citizens physically stay inside their homes? Because from what I've looked at the legal side of all this, none of it matters. They cannot do anything about it. Even if they give you a mask ordinance, it's still just an ordinance. It's not a law. So there's no legal, quote unquote, way to enforce it other than fines. And I don't see that happening except to business owners.
I have to step out a little bit. I'll be right back.
No problem. So Vlad, can Canadian citizens be held to stay in their own quarters? Is that legal in Canada?
I honestly don't know. I think that they can pass any law they want if it's temporary. They have a power, like a military kind of power, where everybody has to stay home and there will be a curfew. They will be patrolling the streets. I believe they did this back in March. I wasn't here, I was in Key West, but they, even in Key West, we had a bit of us, the cops were like, why are you so far? Where do you live? Why are you so far away from your home? Like, so it was, they're temporarily, they can do anything. On a permanent basis.
Yeah,
See, here in America, can we not declare martial law in certain areas and cities? We've done that about other things.
Yeah, okay.
And if that's what we have to do in these areas where there's huge, and that's what's confusing, I think, to some people. I agree with what the young lady said. There's
young lady.
You bet.
Yeah, he said he agreed. Can you imagine? Building bridges right there.
We used to say this in the therapy clinics, like a herniated nucleus pulposus. That's a slip disc. We would always bring a donut in and describe that by squeezing a donut and the jelly comes out the hole. That's what happens to your disc. I always train a therapist, never use the actual words. A tendon is a rubber band, because if you give someone too much information, they get confused.
Exactly.
And the consistent information pretty much has been wear a mask, social distance, wash your hands. If everyone would have done that at the beginning, everyone, we probably would have killed this off 6 months ago. But the problem is there were huge swatches of the population who said, to hell with it, I'm not going to do it. And a lot of those were employers. We saw the employers bringing people back and giving them wrong masks, not giving them gloves, violating the protocols, because in the end, it's just like war. We don't care if those poor, uneducated people die. They can be replaced.
That's heavy.
We have to have someone in charge, and I don't know that we can at this point. I don't know if America is set up that there's one voice that can control everyone with 50 states. I don't know that that's possible.
We need to find an essential worker.
Okay.
I have one thing now going back this, because I just went to the store recently, right?
Okay.
And now, for example, I brought my my recycle bag. Like, oh, I'm sorry, you cannot use a recycle bag. Oh, why not? Because they. And I said, oh, okay. So then I have to pay for the bag, right? That's there, which I don't know where the bag was.
Interesting.
I don't know who handled that bag and put it over there, right? So those are the things that I say that, you try to do the right thing, your bag, that. Here they come and go out of that, and you go.
You're right. Yeah, you're totally right, man. For example, I can't stand plastic bags personally. They're really annoying. You get like
Using
100
more
of
than
them every
ever
time you go to
now.
the grocery store.
More than ever.
Yeah,
in
I don't like
stores.
it. But then during this whole thing, so what we started doing is we just told them, nope, just put the groceries in the cart, and we walked the cart out to our car, and we loaded our own bags in the car.
In the back,
And
yeah.
that's what we ended up doing now. And now we just do that. We don't even. There's no reason to even have someone else bag our groceries, unless the store makes them bag the groceries. We don't do that. We just bypass it. And then the other thing is, I wonder how Monterey dealt with the don't bring your own bag after they outlawed plastic bags.
There you go. There you go. It's like, oh my
That's weird. That's
God.
crazy.
You had to grab the cardboard boxes that they were on the shelf, you know, from the supplies and stuff.
I'm not paying 10 cents for a bag.
This is like a dream home vacation for everybody, though, right? You know,
Right.
everybody's at their home, stuck in their home, their dream home.
Honestly, I took the last couple days off because we did some commercial work for Jay's insurance company. We put out like an 11-minute infomercial and a couple of smaller pieces. And so I was like, I'm going to take a day off. And it was so nice to sit on the couch with my baby and just go, I don't have to do anything today. And so it was just a moment of like, yeah, I probably could have been enjoying this a lot more. Instead of making
Yes.
up projects to do, instead of like, oh, I'm going to build a cabinet because I have the time. Instead of that, I feel like the last couple of days I've been slowing down, I've been enjoying it, and been like, you know what? I don't have to be busy every day. If this is going
Right.
to last another couple months, I might as well enjoy it instead of like, oh, making up new projects every day.
Guys, I'm going to give an example right now as we talk. I got a text message here from a friend of mine. She works with the Monterey County Health Department, so she's really pretty keen on what's going on. And she was just telling me here, because I live here and take care of her father, that's a older man. And she was telling me, hey, we need to make a list and, because I go to the store and buy whatever you need. Da, 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 da. And I said, well, are the supermarket being closed? She said, no, I'm not sure, but just make sure because people are gonna get crazy. So you watch tomorrow, all the shells, and that's the problem with human. Instead of people go, you know what? It's like those people that go buy tons of paper towel, and I look at them, and I'm sorry to say this, they are overweight. And how much food those people do a day? I'm sorry my language here on this thing because I know it's like
it's okay.
Instead of they have like the common sense that I'm gonna get enough that I need until they can restock and leave for other people to go over there and buy. They go over there, man, and buy like they don't even know. They see that I saw it and I stepped and I walk out. I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine how much because I got an email today where they said they're gonna lock down the 13th, I can't imagine how people probably are already in their store stocking and not thinking about, maybe the older adult that lives by himself that needs just a little thing.
That's common sense. Again, common sense.
But
common sense is not common.
Yeah.
Those people buying and all that toilet paper, they're not. I mean, maybe they're buying it for the whole neighborhood. I had my neighbor go, "Hey, did you get toilet paper? Here, take a roll. Hey, you get water? Here, throw some water." I was like, "Thanks," but it was like, it was pretty cool.
It is sad.
But,
we totally agree.
But then you see
agree.
small storm and selling them for the huge price. Remember, we didn't have water, now you could go. It was so expensive.
It's capitalism.
It's insanity.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, you know why?
Speak on it, man.
What's that?
I said Vlad should speak on it. It is. It's capitalism.
Yes.
It's capitalism. It's supply demand.
When there's enough, then nobody wants it. If there's just not enough, then everybody wants it. That's supply and demand.
But you see, but the authorities should say, guys, and they may listen. Do not panic. You're going to the stores doing this. That is enough. Educate the people. They are not really educating the people. They throw over there and deal with. And the way people are now,
don't go to the store. Everyone goes to the store.
People are I'm a very sane person.
How do you educate people? How would you educate people? Just give me an example because I can't find a single way that I could educate.
For example, this is the mail. People are gonna go. Whoever wrote that will say, okay, now please. I know that you might think that this don't go. Just go to the store, buy the basic you need it. I'm
Right.
talking about the food because that's all my points that I was making.
Yeah, we
Explain that they
agree.
need to go and clean the shelves.
Yeah.
Make them understand that there are other people that need it more, or less, whatever. But buy just what you need for a couple weeks until the store can receive the next thing and put it there.
So I went to the store the other day and I went to buy some water, right? Some water.
Right.
And they had, this company had their water and then this company had their water. And the sign said only buy, there was a sign from the store and it said only buy one product. So I thought, should I buy one bottle of water from this company or one bottle of water from this company? Or should I just get one bottle of water?
That's
Right?
it. Right.
They both make money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Water,
I'm
Jay.
stuck in this dilemma, I'm like, what do I do? So I just bought the one, and that's when my neighbor, threw a bunch of water at me. But anyway, it's just it's crazy. There was something I wanted to do, a little segue. I was like thinking about supply and demand, the concept of why so many people voted this year.
Yeah.
Why do you think so many people voted and came out to vote this year? Because they were trying to vote this coronavirus away. They thought that they would vote it away,
Yeah.
and now they're coming to the realization that President Trump, they couldn't vote it away. That's a joke. It's just my joke. Okay, so
It's because they were emotional. Because people were emotional. That's why we had the huge numbers. We had the one side that wanted their guy and was scared their guy was going to lose, and we had the other side that said we have to crush Trump because that side saw the damage he's doing. I'm glad so many people showed up and voted for Biden, but more frightening is so many idiots voted Trump. That's the more frightening side of this.
Hey, I vote Trump and I don't consider myself an idiot. I'm sorry.
Okay, but I do.
And I'm not
we don't, but he does.
Because these people voted against their own best interest. That's
I
what.
don't know. I didn't vote against my best interest.
What did Trump do for you? How did Trump change your life?
I tell what he did for me and my family and many of my friends. I had people that lost their, during the Obama years, their place of work. They had no incentive. They were small business. They were able to open again. They were doing fantastic. And if you look in history, to show you, in the whole history of the United States never had an economy going so well. Because you know what? I read a book, guys, and that's why I vote Trump. It's called The World is Flat. Almost 17 years ago or more. A great book that explained and was telling, and one of the things they were saying is that sometimes, you can be in the computer, you're going to be reading the computer, you might be talking with a dog, and you didn't know it was the artificial intelligence, right? You don't even know what you're doing.
The Turing test.
Let me tell you one thing in the book. China, the goal of China is to become a superpower like United States. That's their goal, has been for many, many years. We all know that. I studied political science in Brazil, so it's there. So when I
They
have
are
the
they are a superpower.
I come
They
to
are,
the
they, but they are a superpower, and they've been a superpower for a long time.
No. I have friends that do business, and I even have friends that I work in the truck industry. That's things there. You have no idea how things was going bad for China. Okay, so they were in desperate mode. When we had the Olympics there, my friends report from Brazil were there. They escaped and went to cities. People were being put to the side so they could provide to the world that they were great. They were taking resources from all these cities next to put all in there to show that the world they were good. So there was a lot of things, the information doesn't come because unfortunately in this nation, and I have a daughter that now is 30 years old, I had to fight with PTA when she started going to school because they were already trying to indoctrinate her there. Coming from Brazil, I knew how the government comes and works from the within, putting a generation uneducated, easy to be conditioned to do whatever people do. It puts fear on them, don't think for themselves. That I had to fight this No Children Left Behind program. believe me, PTA didn't even want me go into them because I was questioning about why this has nothing to do with academics. Why are you guys doing? So
That's a
when
real
you
hot
ask
topic
why
right
I vote
there.
for
No
Trump,
kid left
I
behind.
vote for Trump for one big reason. The guy, maybe his words. I didn't vote for Trump because, I vote for him because it was the first time that I see in my 33 years in this nation that I saw a guy that had the balls to come in here and call all the other crooks out. And then they kept trying to take him down, and he never went back. You know why? Because you like the guy or now, he got integrity that he says, and he does what he says. He walks his talk.
He's done nothing that he said. How can I can list off 15 things off the top of my head he said he was going to do that he didn't do. You couldn't
and why
be
he
more
didn't
off
do
base.
because many of the things he tried to do.
He didn't try to do anything except make money.
Vlad took off.
He did. He set out to do nothing for Americans. He is not representative of you. He is playing you.
Too hot.
He is playing you. He has done nothing to help America.
You're gonna get very emotional. I should have kept myself quiet, but I'm not kind of person that believes.
No, that's okay. You said what you have. Now I'm rebutting. Now I'm telling you. Now I'm telling you because I've lived here for 55 years.
I'm idiots because I voted on him. You have to respect others.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
And then you come in here and try.
Okay, this is not much of a debate. This is not
Hold
much of
on,
a debate. It's
hold
just
on,
a yelling
hold on,
match. I have to
hold
go.
on,
Good
hold on.
night.
Okay. I respect your
Thanks,
thought, but
Vlad.
All right,
Appreciate
Vlad,
you.
tell me
thank you.
that I'm an idiot because I vote for Trump.
I don't think
just
you
We
missed the
don't-
No,
message.
you
This is a hot
said
topic.
your part. Now let me rebut. Trump has not done anything that he said he was going to do. He hasn't done any of them. There's no
he hasn't
wall.
done for you, but he done for a lot of people in this nation and for
No, he has not.
Brazil.
I asked you specifically, what did he do for you? You did not answer the question.
I
What
told you
did he
there
do
was more
specific-
job available. Everybody was happy out there doing business more than ever. Many
No,
malls.
that's not true. That's not true.
Because look at the growers here in Salinas, how much they've been growing in open space. Because
And I'm telling you, you can tell me anecdotal evidence that's not true. He actually slowed the job rate. Obama had a run that we have
gotta
never
be kidding
seen.
me. Leo Canati is the biggest grower here in this area. And I talked to him, and then he gave me put. I'm not gonna go in there because you only gonna see what you read, what you believe that your political people are
No, I'm
saying.
gonna see what the facts are. These things are factual based.
All right, so hold on. Time out, everybody. All right, we've got two sides here, and that's okay. It's totally fine. I think you both have expressed, both of your positions on it.
That I'm an idiot because
we
I
wrapped
vote
it
for
up, and we're moving forward.
That's
So
wrong.
at this point, I'm going to keep talking over everybody until the conversation turns in a different direction. Because here's the thing: you have an opinion, Anthony. I respect that. You have an opinion, Layla. I expect that.
Exactly.
I respect that, and so that's okay. And so we've seen that it's a hot topic. That's what we're here to discuss. We discussed it a little bit, and now we're going to go ahead and move on because there's not going to be any inroad. Like, you're not going to find a balance. There's not going to be a bridge. You both have feelings, and it's regardless of your personal feelings. We still have to do a show. So anyway, Jay, how about those stimulus checks? Do you think they're coming or
There's
not?
there's the hot topic, and then there's the name calling, and so we want to just separate ourselves a little bit from that. And so I think that's a part of the solution of today's issue. Moving on. So
Yes, it's hard when you call someone an idiot to come back from that in argument. So, but anyway, do we think? I want to toss this hot potato out there. Do we think the stimulus checks are coming before Christmas, or not coming? But will they get approved? This is a big deal. This is going to mean, $1,200 to me, probably, maybe.
If they cared about us, they would come. They would make sure they got here, right?
This country's gonna get bankrupt, guys, and it's gonna be a sad living for.
So we're like, no, everybody's like, it's not happening.
Political party because it's gonna affect everyone. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're gonna pass it. 908 billion was the last count.
But it's Pelosi, man. She's the one that does, right? She's the smarter woman in this country, right? Or something.
I don't know about that. That seems.
That woman, I cannot believe she's even.
Do you think the
what are we
stimulus
talking
checks
about?
will get approved Yes or no? That's the hot potato. Jay, do you
You're
think
gonna
they're gonna?
have to
I hope it has to be approved. And then, you got some of these people are running out of their unemployment right now in the next couple of weeks. And they have to recycle that. They have to print more money in the back room and get it out there for the people or something. I don't know what they're going to do.
All right,
But
Anthony, do you think they're gonna get this thing passed before Christmas?
Yeah, I think they got to do something. I mean, I hope they do something that would seem reasonable. It seems that they're trying to protect businesses. That's
Yeah.
a big concern of McConnell on that side is they want to protect their liability, but they don't seem to be as concerned about the individuals. That if y'all remember the unemployment was a $600 extra, and they were
A
supposed
week.
to extend that and they didn't. And now they're like, oh, now we're going to make it $300. And now it's
Yeah.
not going to be retroactive. So these people that have gone unemployed without money for these last 3 months, I guess, since unemployment, what do? That unemployment,
You know
they
what?
didn't
In
cause themselves to
Ohio,
be unemployed.
I applied for unemployment in June, and I waited until I absolutely had to apply, and I applied, and I got put into a lump of 180,000 cases of fraud, and so it's like I've been put on pause, and there's no one to talk to. They do not have anyone you can
Wow.
talk to. When you call them, it's just someone reading a script on the phone on the screen, and so it's like every week I file for unemployment every week. Just like in my account says no holds. There's $8,000 in my unemployment account, and it just says pending on one issue since June. And that's to me, it's like it doesn't matter. The stimulus thing is like it doesn't matter that they were using it as a political lever. That sucks. But like if they don't send something on the first, all the care orders that stopped all the evictions and foreclosures is rescinded. If they
Yes.
don't do something by that date, then literally you're going to see the worst housing crash you've ever seen, and you're going to see more
everything's
homeless
gonna
people than you've
crash,
ever
man.
seen.
It's a
So
cycle, everything depends on everything. Car payments, electricity, it's insane. And one of the things that I noticed, guys, is talk about the government giving money, giving money, giving money. They're gonna come and take it too. Okay, there is a lot of things that I received because of my age. I think when I was a young lady, because I'm 60, almost 61 years old. So I lived enough to see things, and I see that they keep offering me money for this. Just a moment, Miss Wing. Hold on, guys. Some emergency here.
go ahead.
My question is, how much difference does it make for someone if they get $600? Is
A
that does that really make a difference for people?
A week?
That doesn't sound like it should. No, they're talking about a $600 stimulus check.
Yeah, who cares?
You get a
It's
one-time
beyond
payment
a
of
drop in the
$600
bucket.
and that
Yeah.
changes your life? I don't see that.
It's a tinkle in Lake Erie. It's so little.
Yes.
$1,200. I mean, I spent it on my child. That's how small the 1,200 was. I spent every penny of it on getting my kid a laptop because now he's stuck in this weird virtual school world. So it's like that's really where that starts to affect us greatly. Is that you know the business and stuff getting shut down is fucked up, but the reality of it is the schools getting shut down is what's really fucked up.
Right.
You know.
And so that's what I would, any time before COVID, if you'd have asked me, I said, there's no way they're going to screw everybody or such a huge amount of people. But now watching the mismanagement and the callousness of how COVID was handled, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, they would. They would let this go until Biden's in office and he has to fix it and watch people lose their homes. Because if they'll let 300,000 people die,
Yeah.
they'll do anything.
And I think I'm with you there as far as like where we're at. I do think the stimulus will get passed. So I think we're in good shape as far as like getting a little bonus. I don't think checks will get out until after the first. In fact, they might not even print checks until Biden assumes control.
Now, let me ask you, what in your situation, if you were on your own and you had to pay all your bills and you were unemployed right now, you'd just be screwed.
Yeah, homeless.
You'd be homeless.
100%.
That is beyond comprehension. And this is why capitalism does not work. Because you cannot have a system that lets people who were unemployed, not by their own fault, just lose their homes, lose their lives, their jobs, and not take care of them. When we take care of major corporations with billions, we pay farmers not to farm. We pay them to throw away milk. We
Yeah.
have been carrying their asses forever,
It's
but they won't
ridiculous.
do it for the individual. That's so depressing.
It is. All
But I
right,
mean,
How they prolong
we're
it.
coming up on an hour, Jay. We're coming up on an hour. Layla,
What?
if you want, we'll let you speak.
I have a hot topic.
No worries. We'll let you speak one more round.
Different one. To
Okay,
change the
we're coming up on an hour, everybody, and so we're gonna
Next
have one
one.
more topic, and then after that, we're gonna wrap it up for the night. Go ahead, start us off, Layla. What's your
Okay,
hot
so
topic?
I was reading the news today, and it was about two of people that that's in the Senate that knew about things like Senator Dianne Feinstein for 20 years had a Chinese spy hired, driving her around the list and everything. And then
I've
this
never heard
other
of
guy
that.
that even run for president was young, nobody knew. The young lady came here, he started working as intern, it was a spy and be financing him. And he knew it. There's pictures and everything. It was skip cover. So for me, that's a hot topic because that's why we are in the mess we are today. Because the people that we are elect are supposed to be looking at our best interests, are looking at their own interests.
Yeah.
And that's why, and this is not something that's like now, this has been going for years. Okay, so the hot topic is, do you believe that China is buying ice for many years, decades?
Are they buying what?
Buying politicians.
Yeah, well, so let me put it to you this way and kind of drop the veil on China. China has owned us wholly and fully outright for almost 20 years now, since Clinton. Once Clinton left office, then we started accruing debt. Every single penny of that debt came from China. We're at $17 trillion debt or something. And
because
China
we sell
owns
everything to be made in there.
Well, but here's the thing. China owns us financially. So if we go into ruin, if we get shut down, they get shut down because they've invested all their extra capital in buying up our debt. And so in this way, we are intertwined with China. There's no taking us apart. And yeah, we have these embargoes and yeah, we, have taxes, whatever. But the reality of it is China doesn't care. They're at 3 billion people. I cannot stress to you how tiny we are financially, space wise, just the size of the United States. So, resources, oil, population, intelligence, finance. China is so far advanced past America now, you can't even imagine it. Like,
We're the new
because
kid on the block.
Experience, okay? So I worked with the surf industry for many years, and I was representing many companies. So I was doing a trade show in Florida called Brazil Beach inside the Surf Expo, which is one of the longest trade show in the United States. So I was trying to bring, make the American companies, surf brands, surfwear, bikini wear, everybody try to produce in Brazil because I already knew that those things were stuck going to come to the point that China would be determine what you come, what not, and they were already copying what that you are producing because they could produce faster. And that you saw all those cheap stores being open here in America, selling things that look like. So when the companies were launching 6 months later, that design was already, I seen it, but it was a little detail. So what happened was I tried to convince the American brands to do in Brazil because they would not be depending on cargo shipment. We had the pirates problem going on.
Right.
If you cannot send it, you can put it in a train, you can put in car, and can get here. It was great quality, but you know what? We didn't got it in Brazil because the competing price.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right. That's what happened. So people became
China's plan for a long time.
If I want a business, I want to have profit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look. It's a normal way of thinking. Everybody thinks that way. If you open a business, you want profit, or what are you doing a business for, right? So what happened was that everybody decided going to the cheap, and forgot. And China did one thing, because I knew they have a minimal amount to produce.
Right.
Okay, so just let me finish, because I'm gonna have to.
No
I know
worries.
I gotta take off this. So those are the things that happen, like you said. So they put us also dependable on them, and we took all the jobs that could be here.
Mhm.
You know, I remember being in Brazil. We love things made in America.
Used to, yeah.
Now, believe me, we don't like things made in China, right? So it's this whole thing. So listen, guys, I have an emergency
No
going on.
worries. Thank you, Leela. You've
Yeah,
been
so I have
great.
to take care
Don't
of
worry about
things.
it.
But by you don't get mad at me. You that call me young lady. I just want to say that I'm a kind of person that I stand my grounds too, and I respect everybody's point. But when you said that you call people that vote for Trump eaters, I had to say something. I respect your vote.
That's okay.
All my friends here in Northern California are all liberals, and I'm independent. In many ways, I got my own opinion, so I respect everyone. I love everyone. I'm not mad at you, and I just wanted to know that I have to say something, not trying to, and
that's what
I
this
will
show
see you
is
guys
for.
again.
We appreciate it.
I'm sorry I have to go.
No worries.
Bye, Jay. Love you
Thank
guys.
you. We'll
Thank
see
you
you soon,
guys.
Leila.
Thank you, Layla.
The baby, beautiful future caller. You quiet there, just listen.
Yeah,
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Guys, can I add to this though? Is the enemy is us. We're the ones that sending these jobs overseas. We're the ones. We are.
That's
the
why I told the companies.
It's
They
not.
only
Yeah.
I regret.
Yeah, it's the bye-bye. It's the corporations because it's a great business move because they don't care about 300 million Americans they can sell to when they can sell to billions of Chinese and billions of Indians. And that's why all of our manufacturing has disappeared because these corporations, they're not American corporations. They're corporations and they will move their shit wherever they have to move it to turn a profit. And they'll leave this as a desolate, apocalyptic nation. And they don't give a shit because they're going to make their money over there. So I'm a liberal, but I've always said, if you don't make it here, you shouldn't be able to sell it here.
Wow.
And that would solve a lot of the problems. Everyone's got to be unionized. Okay. Because we've become a drive-through nation. You stop and get a Big Mac and you go buy all the other shit elsewhere. And is by letting these corporations do this, we've led to our own downfall.
Yeah, that's true.
Agreed.
I fully agree. I mean, we have some good hot topics tonight, fellas. That was a spicy show.
Let me ask you something. I have a suggestion. And it sounds ridiculous.
We're still on air right now.
Okay.
If you want, Jay, do you want to wrap it up and then give us last words and we'll hop off air? We've been on for an hour.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to talk about. I want to dedicate this show to Chuck Yeager. First person to fly faster than the speed of sound, and he died at 96 years old. So let's give it up to him. And we're gonna shoot to the moon as fast as he with our audience.
Ratings.
But hey, thanks a lot for joining in with our hot topic potato roundtable discussion and signing off.
Beautiful.